it's some bold things. What's your first bold take? What do you got?
I mean, it goes to the Chicago Bears, man. Right now, I think, Caleb Williams, they got a tremendous team, but I think they're going to ride the struggle bus. Right now, he's got to learn how to play under center. That's something that he's not accustomed to do. Can't be learned on the job when you're in arguably the most competitive division in all of football. I think he's going to struggle, and I think they're going to finish last in their division again.
Ride the struggle bus?
And look, I think we have to temper our expectations early on in the season. There's a whole lot of new stuff going on in Chicago. New head coach, new offensive coordinator, new system. He's only in his second year. He has to unlearn what he learned. They're trying to integrate a whole bunch of new players, in particular on the offensive line. So let's just see how that all gels together, although it looks good on paper. Yeah, there's a lot. I think it will ramp up as the season goes on. But look, the North is strong in the NFC. They're going to be pulling up the rear, but I think they'll make improvement.
Okay, Bart, you're
You
next.
just said you agree with Bart, Lou. You didn't have to even go
No.
through
I don't like, struggle bus.
No,
Yeah, whatever.
Struggle bus. Bart, what's next for the Steelers?
Well, I think the Steelers can be a sneaky choice to win a playoff wild card. I think, we don't give them a lot of credit about what they did last year.
Win a playoff game?
Yeah, playoff
Okay.
game. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, listen, last year they basically had a cone for quarterback when Russ stopped cooking, and they were still able to be competitive. Mike Tomlin always going to have a smart team that doesn't beat itself. I think with the defensive improvements, Jalen Ramsey can kind of play that Rod Woodson, Charles Woodson type of role where he can be that Swiss Army knife. I think they're going to find a way to maybe win a playoff game.
That would mean that they're in the final four of the AFC. Mike Tannenbaum, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I mean, in the history
Tell us
of
you
our
hate Aaron
sport,
Rodgers. Just say you hate Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm just going 100 years of data. Is that enough for you? There's been two players in 100 years that have started a playoff game at his age. One is Tom Brady. The other one is Drew Brees. Now, look, could Aaron Rodgers catch lightning about?
Better than Drew Brees.
4 years ago, he was.
Okay.
All right. All my point is, I like their defense. They do have 4 starters over the age of 30, and Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach. But Aaron Rodgers hasn't played well in 4 years, and he's going to be 42. And there's a long history in our league, and 42 is not quarterback friendly.
Let's bet our eyebrows.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between. I'm in the middle on this.
You're not allowed to be in
Yeah,
between.
but look, I think, yeah, no kidding. I think they'll be a double-digit win team. I think they'll play playoff caliber defense, no question about it. The key is, look, like it is with all these older quarterbacks, offensive line play, the tackles in particular in Pittsburgh, they got to come through. Do they have another weapon other than DK Metcalf? Okay, do they have another weapon on the outside other than DK Metcalf? We know they got the tight ends. We know Arthur loves the tight ends, that being Arthur Smith, the OC. And
Like
hey,
the
look,
running back?
and
Like
so,
the
hey,
running back?
you like the new running back. You like some of the things that supposedly people have been saying about Aaron coming out of training camp. And his tape last year at the end of the season, Mike, wasn't that bad. So, I know you're going against 100 years of data, or I'm going up against, and Bart's going up against 100 years of data, but I'm a little more optimistic about this team.
Let me go back to you, Mike, because I think what you're saying is, in 100 years of football, Tom Brady and maybe Vinny Testaverde for a year. Who else?
It was Drew Brees. That was
Drew Brees.
Were the only 2 quarterbacks that ever started a playoff game
How old
at
was Warren
age
Moon?
42.
Warren Moon, he played until he
Randall
was 40.
Cunningham.
George Blanda. I mean, there's a couple. Rodgers, though.
40 is the new 35, man. Come on,
Rodgers,
man.
though, they say, and Ryan Clark had a tweet earlier yesterday saying he looks like he's 2010, 2011 Rodgers throwing the ball. You see it right here.
I'll tell you what.
He's 2 years removed from the injury, man.
I'm telling you this. If he's that,
Yes.
if he's having flashbacks of that, then look, that may change the whole calculus here.
Hey, Pete.
Okay, if he looks that good and he can sustain that for 17 games.
Absolutely. There is a pathway. Caleb Johnson's a good running back. If they play 2 or 3 tight ends with Arthur Smith, there is a path. But when you're going against Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, who are going to be point scorers, I just don't see this team.
T. Higgins' hamstring's going to hold up. Can they stop any damn body?
They don't need to.
Yeah, they are going to need to stop. So what do you mean they don't need to stop somebody?
They're going to score 30
How did that
points
work? How
every
did
game.
that work out for him last year? Listen, every time that Sweet Lou agrees with me, let's play a game. He got to take a button down for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Let that sternum out. I'm surprised. I've never seen so much of this dude's shirt in my life. I'm used to seeing straight sternum.
In case you haven't noticed, Bart has like a flair for the dramatic, but I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, there we go.
Give it to them. Give them what they want. We need the ratings, baby.
I'm going to keep it right here.
I like this.
All those acquisitions from ESPN just means more Sweet Lou for you, ladies.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Bart shows up in a bow tie and
Sir Brother Noomsy.
and we're talking about
But
Louis.
Peter, he doesn't show up on time for the 6 a.m. meeting.
Oh, wow. That's
Because I usually on the call. Man, just tell you
That
what,
was-
with friends like this dude, who need enemies? Snitches get stitches.
Okay, Bart, former Raven legend.
This guy.
You have an MVP prediction. Who you got?
Oh, here we
I
go.
mean, listen, it's the same old story. The same guy that was first team All AP last year that should have won MVP last year, but everybody wanted to give it to Josh Allen. Listen, I see him just getting better. He's becoming a better thrower with the football. He doesn't turn over the football, and lost the weight last year. We saw him able to rush damn near for 1,000 yards. I think with DeAndre Hopkins gives him another possession receiver in the red zone. How do you defend him? How do you stop him? The only thing that can stop Lamar Jackson is his health.
I'm throwing a flag on this. That's not bold. He was second place last year. He's won the MVP twice. Louis Riddick, give me a bold prediction for MVP.
Yeah, this is a dark horse pick. But the more I think about it, look, Baker Mayfield had
Now we're talking
a great
bold.
season
Let's go.
a year ago. All right, you think about this: third in completion percentage, third in yards in total yards, second in pass TDs, efficiency. Baker had a hell of a season. Now he's going on his third offensive coordinator in as many years in Tampa. That has been the story of his career, but it doesn't faze him. This dude has hit his stride, and he's also a lesson for everyone who really wants to jump the gun and consider quarterbacks bust in year 1 and year 2. It took Baker a minute, but he's found it now. And don't be surprised if, as Tampa maybe starts winning this year, this guy gets talked about if he has that kind of season he had a year ago.
Right.
Yeah, and sneaky big news, as Greedy would like to say. Hembo's stat about Baker Mayfield: 69 touchdown passes over the last 2 years. Most in the NFL, 51 were in 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers. Emeka Buka, big pick.
Receiver.
Yeah.
Bart,
I
do
can agree with
you
that.
want a chance to redeem yourself? Because you said Bart's bold. You went Lamar Jackson.
I don't, but I want to look in the camera and say, listen, progressive. Get a man his commercials back.
Okay.
He back, baby. He earned his commercials back. Get his commercials
You
back.
heard that? Let's go.
He's a great
Baker's been
actor.
playing well. Coming up, talk about another quarterback who might be in the MVP.
Hate to pay me, the more cheese you got to put on my taco later. Right now, it's nobody else that can elevate the salary cap. There's nobody left. There's no young player that can take it. T.J. Watt was the last one. Trey Henderson will get a good contract, but he won't be somebody that can push it to the top and surpass T.J. Watt. But we know Micah Parsons is, because he's everything that those players are, but he's in his prime. So he has another contract still left in him. Jerry always does this. But at the end of the day, you can go all the way back. You talk about those teams that you competed against. What happened with Emmitt Smith?
Missed 2 games.
They still paid him the money.
Yeah.
So it's going to pay me now or pay me later, but at the end of the day, you're going to pay me, Jerry. We saw it happen. Maybe he needs to call up Zeke and go to Cabo and hang out with him. You know what I mean? Who didn't get paid? Right? Everybody got paid.
But why does it have to be
That
so,
got
why does
paid
it have to be so hard?
because Jerry's trying to see if he'll get you to blink. And everybody knows that, Jerry, you bluffing at this point. At the end of the day, your legacy and what you're trying to accomplish, we know you're running out of time, Jerry.
But he could have signed him to an extension for the last 2
Right.
years.
Right.
But see,
So
but see,
is he bluffing?
It's bigger to me than, look, Micah knows he's going to get paid regardless,
Right.
right? But see, all right, so I'm looking at this really from Jerry's standpoint. Yeah, he may say, look, I did this kind of thing with Emmett. We still won Super Bowls. Because you know what? You had Troy and you had Michael and you had Eric
Darren
Williams.
Woodson,
You had like
You
an
got Dak and
all-time
CD.
team.
Yeah.
They don't have an all-time team right now.
Correct.
So, but he's the one who says all the time, I'm all in, right? My clock is ticking. I need to win another championship. Well, this isn't the blueprint for it. And you don't have Troy Aikman over here. And you don't have Michael Irvin. You don't have Deion Sanders. You don't have that team anymore. But you're conducting business like it's back in 1993 again. And it's not. It's not.
In his head, it is, man. You know, these old owners, man, the old habits die hard.
But you know what? I mean, and the rest of the division is just pulling away. Philly, they're all pulling away.
Final word.
I don't think they ever trade him. Like, this has to get resolved at some point. I don't think this turns into Jalen Ramsey of
Is he
Jacksonville.
Herschel Walker? No, just mess with you.
Oh, hey, you know what, man? I put nothing past this dude because, look, right now, every day he says something, I'm just like,